This video is brought to you by Kempower, the reliable, quick, and scalable EV charging solution for everyone and everywhere. And this video is also brought to you by StarCharge, the largest EV charging manufacturer in the world. They are also a provider of residential and commercial battery storage with microgrid solutions. Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video, and a particularly exciting one as a Rivian R1T owner. Rivians now have access to the Tesla Supercharger network. It feels like yesterday, but it was about 2 weeks ago you joined me in New Jersey, where I was the first person to plug into the now open Tesla Supercharger network, as Tesla is granting access to other automakers besides just themselves. And well, today it's the second automaker to gain access to the Tesla Supercharger network, and that is, of course, Rivian. And I have the official adapter. I'm going to show you through all the process, some of the UI stuff, what this means for Rivian owners, and of course, yes, we're going to start by plugging in the truck and having our first charge using this now awesome, expansive Tesla Supercharger network with my awesome, capable electric pickup truck. I'm very excited about this. And right on cue, right at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, Rivian now has access to the Tesla Supercharger network. Find compatible Tesla Superchargers in navigation. Make sure you have a valid payment method set up in your Rivian mobile app. NACS DC adapter required. Take a look at this. Use your NACS DC adapter from Rivian. It says, when charging on a Tesla Supercharger, be sure to use an adapter. Using the wrong adapter will damage your vehicle. I actually probably wouldn't say that because there's protections in place. So you need the DC adapter, not the AC adapter. This is also the first time we've seen potentially an official NACS AC adapter that I'm seeing here. With the same type of really nice latch mechanism. That is a really nice looking adapter. I have not seen that before. And then of course the DC adapter, which we have. Scan the code below for more information. Then you hit got it and we're good to go. Let's go supercharge this thing. Well, viewers, the first thing we have to do is plug in and charge. So as of 10 a.m. Mountain Time today, which is the 14th, Alyssa, I think. What day is today? Hold on. 18th? Oh yeah, March 18th. So whoops. March 18th, the official flip switch has been flipped, but there have been some reports of Rivian owners already charging on the Supercharger network. It sounds like Tesla was turning on and off the access up until around this point, and some Rivian owners were able to sneak in and get their cars charging and their trucks charging. However, now, at least, this is official, and it will work with plug and charge, no sneaky ways of activating. And I have not tried it with my truck yet. The nearest charger that works is actually this one to our house. There's also another one that's a Magic Dock station, but I didn't want to go to the Magic Dock station because you guys would be like, well, it's a Magic Dock, of course it charges. And Magic Docks are basically this NACS J3400 to CCS adapter built into the charger, and they sit just about here in that particular place. But at least with the official adapter, we will be able to charge, again, for the first time, using the Supercharger network on the Rivian. So let's go for it. I'm going to take the version 3 handle right here. We'll plug it into the adapter until it clicks. This is the Tesla provided adapter, of course, to Rivian, and then Rivian provides it at no cost to their customers. Really awesome. It's the exact same adapter as the Ford adapter. There's no difference. So here we go. Into the port, plugging in. This will literally double the amount of chargers, the places we can go, and it just opens up so much more access. Let's see what it says. Communicating. It's blinking. And come on, we'll give it a second. Aha, green, we're charging. So the way this is working is it did ISO 15118 certificate exchange, which, by the way, Tesla's recently got an update. They're now doing certificate exchange ISO 15118 communication on version 3 superchargers that are at least active for it. Pretty cool. Take a look. We're at about 10% state of charge. And what does it show? Wow, why is this thing in miles an hour? After every software update, it does this, and it's the stupidest thing. Oh, energy. If you look over here on this screen, I got to tap this and then it'll put it in the more correct kilowatt rating. Now our battery is cold right now, but this thing will do the full 212 or 215 kilowatts we can expect to get on the Rivian. And that is because The Rivian only wants 500 amps. That's the maximum it will accept. And so that's the most it's going to request from the Supercharger. The Supercharger can actually output up to about 700 amps or even above. But this adapter is technically rated at 500 amp peak, and the truck will never request more than 500 amps. So that's the most that we will get. This is, I mean, it's always the most anticlimactic thing. We thought the same thing when we did the Ford last week, which is, oh, this big exciting thing, Tesla Supercharger network's opening. You got to park a little weird, yes. But man, it's been so cool. So I want to talk a little bit about cable placement. I want to talk about the parking situation, but I just want to soak this in. I want to see if the battery is accepting more charge now. No, 107 kilowatts, the battery's cold. We didn't really precondition it that long, but it did precondition when I set this station as the location in the navigation. But there you go. Our first ever charge using the Supercharger network with our Rivian R1T. This is super exciting. Let's talk a little bit more about how this works, what it means, and then we'll wrap up the video. Make it a quick one today. Just popping into service mode here. It's going to load up. Always the first time you get in a drive cycle, it takes a second to load everything. You can see we're up to 137 kilowatts now. As the battery is warming up, it will actually continuously charge faster up to its maximum of 212 kilowatts-ish. If I come here to dashboards, high voltage, you can see here maximum available current from the charger is 500 amps, which is interesting because that means that the Supercharger knows that we're using the adapter and it's telling the truck, hey, the most I can give you is 500 amps. So maybe you won't actually see higher than 500 amps on a Tesla Supercharger with the official adapter. That's pretty interesting. Right now, of course, we're only getting 320, 330 amps, and that is because the warmest cell is only 21 degrees Celsius, and the coldest cell is definitely below that. So anyway, nerd stuff for you guys, but I figured I would show you some of that. Let's exit service mode here really quick, and I just want to show you what this does for chargers that are activated. You can see here real-time status, 9 out of 16 chargers available is working. So this is the charger that we're at. It will show 250 kilowatt max, although again, with that amperage limitation and with the truck limitation, you're only going to get about 218, 215 kilowatts max, somewhere around there. It indicates adapter needed. And again, both Tesla and Rivian suggest only using, and they're only really warrantying anything, it's quite an expensive vehicle, with the official Tesla adapter. I'm not here saying that any of the third-party adapters are sketchy. I'm saying some definitely are. I'm not here to certify them or to recommend them to you. I think that would be disingenuous of us. However, it will work with a third-party adapter. You can use, there's Lectron, there's A to Z, there's a few others out there. I have not tried them, but I know they work because the adapter is just a dumb piece of metal. At least the official one has an interlock, so you can't pull out the Tesla handle without first disconnecting the CCS side, which all the other adapters, at least that I'm aware of on the market, have something similar. And of course, there's temperature sensors in there, so if there is an over temperature event, it will of course, just shut charging off. It can derate charging, the adapter, only if the Supercharger handle gets hot and the inlet port on the vehicle gets hot. But if the adapter's red hot, really, my understanding, the only thing it can do is just do a pilot signal interrupt and just whoop, stop charging. And that's a pretty aggressive way to stop charging. It's just a wham, blow open the contactors. But at least it's safer to do it than an over temperature event. So here in the software, there's a few things I can do. I can search for all the different charging networks, of course, but I think a lot of Rivian owners are going to be pleased to use the Tesla chargers. And then you can show ones that, you know, adapter needed, you can hide. So if I click that, you'll see if you don't have the official adapter or if you don't have a third-party adapter, now it won't show any of the Tesla chargers that are available. This one, it will show because it has a built-in Magic Dock. And a Magic Dock is essentially that adapter, like I mentioned, built into the dispenser. And anyone can use those, and that will work with plug and charge using the Rivian app. Since I have the adapter, I can uncheck that hide, and now we should see a few more load in. There we go. And those are all of the Tesla Superchargers that are available in the Denver metro area. Interestingly, if I open this up to all networks and I just show, you know, high power ones, look how many chargers we have here in Denver. It is crazy. Every one of these green dots are high power DC chargers, and they go all the way up, which is great. So we really have great charging infrastructure here in Colorado, And of course, there's actually a Rivian Adventure Network site just down the road from here. In terms of cost and pricing, I don't know if this one demonstrates or shows the kilowatt hour price, does it? It doesn't seem to here in the display, but you can, it says use an adapter 2D. Oh, if you click on the individual stall, it will show you the price. So here's 3A, right now we're getting 43 cents per kilowatt hour, and then it goes to 45 cents per kilowatt hour after 11 a.m., and you're pretty much good to go. My understanding is this activation happened at around midnight, which was about 9 hours earlier or 10 hours earlier than anyone thought would happen. So there's already been a few people who have been charging on them today. If I load up the Rivian app, let's just see what it shows in here. You can see we're up to 143 kilowatts now, which is great. So we're really chugging along as the battery builds some temperature. And I can come here to the map and it should show all of the charging stations available. So here we have this site that we're at, 10 out of 16 available, 15 out of 16 available there, this one being an 8 stall. And so it's great that you can really send this to a vehicle, make a trip plan, and of course inside the Rivian app, I even get a charging curve with an updated display from before, and you can see we're just increasing the charge rate as the battery builds temperature. So this is really great, up to 173 kilowatts now, really chugging along, which is great. Let's see how many amps we're doing. I'm sure a lot of you will want to know how to get into service mode. You hit settings, vehicle, service mode, tap the top bar a bunch. That will enable this ride app from the app switcher. Tap all around, 33748. I've shown you this a few times. Now you can see we're doing almost 400, or just about 400 amps on the 500 amp maximum dispenser. So let's pop outside because there's one more topic I want to discuss, which is cable placement. I've had a lot of experience using the F-150 Lightning with the Supercharger network now, and I think the Rivian's going to be better off than that truck. So cable placement, charge port placement is certainly an interesting topic with these very short version 3 cables. It's less of an issue with the Rivian than the Lightning. The Lightning has its charge port and the Mach-E all the way back here. So with those vehicles, you really need to squeeze them up in between the Supercharger dispensers. With the Rivian, you can get somewhat close, and you can see there's still quite a bit of slack in here, which is great. However, this is still the non-native location to interface with the charging network. Tesla has already committed that they're going to come out with an extension cord. That's going to be interesting. And of course, we're going to see more version 4 dispensers, which are the tall ones with the liquid immersion cooled cable that's quite longer. And then you can park, in the middle of a spot and use that with any charge port location. So there's a lot of work Tesla still needs to do to make this interface properly, as they are now an open network. And that is on them as a charge point operator. And it's also on automakers to consider charging port location. Now in the Rivian R2 and R3, I believe, they have the charge ports still in the non-native location for the Tesla Supercharger network. Will there be enough version 4s out by then where it doesn't matter? Will there still be version 3 dispensers out? I can't imagine Tesla's going to retrofit all of them. Rivian, I think what their official response was, well, curbside charging is going to be a bigger thing. So we wanted the port on the rear passenger side of the vehicle. But as you can see here from this Model X, the rear driver side is the native port location to work with the Supercharger network. So again, I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I don't like the idea of an extension cord, but as long as it's temperature monitored, I guess it's fine. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. I can't imagine it would be liquid cooled like this is a liquid cooled situation, but who knows what Tesla's going to come up with. They always have interesting engineering solutions, and I certainly would never bet against their charging programs. They know what they're doing in this area. So that's just a thought there. In terms of using the Supercharger network as a non-Tesla, I have now done probably 20, 30, and my dad's done even way more with the Lightning sessions using Tesla Superchargers with a non-Tesla. And we are still in the phase of, are you charging? Like, you can't be here. Like, what are you doing with a Ford or a Rivian at the Tesla Supercharger? This will wear off over time. And a lot of it's just people used to only seeing Teslas at Tesla charging locations. But some people walk by, they'll hear the cable cooling on, they'll see that the truck's charging and be like, oh yeah, cool, you're charging. No one's been, at least in my experience, like, this is my network, you can't charge here, because we're paying customers. I'm paying for this charge through my Rivian app, through Plug and Charge, because I have my credit card in my Rivian charging app. It's how I pay for the Rivian Adventure network as well. And all I'm going to say is it's just everyone take it easy at charging stations. Yes, we're blocking 2 stalls. Let's just try to, find the best way possible where we cause the least amount of inconvenience to Tesla owners. Like, for example, what I should have done, I should have pulled into this end spot right over here, and I could have just directly plugged into that version 3 dispenser, and I wouldn't be blocking anyone. Now, that parking space is half covered in snow, but we got 4-wheel drive, and that would have been the proper thing to do. Just want to be mindful when we're using this network until this extension cable comes out or people get used to seeing other vehicles. Ultimately, I would say it's never caused me not to be able to charge. Other than one time where a station was half full and every vehicle was spaced perfectly out where I couldn't get the lightning in because you need 2 open spaces in order to charge with a non-native charge port location. But little bugs here and there, little issues. But ultimately, I think what this means for Rivian owners, especially ones like myself who tow a lot with my truck, who really use them, we go to remote places, this just expands the places we can go. It takes the worry out of road tripping because we've been relying on the very poor quality public networks up to this point, and they've proven that they are not capable at supporting this electric transition through creating worry-free road tripping like a Tesla network is capable of. So even though a lot of Rivian owners still may choose to go to Electrify America, EVgo, ChargePoint, whatever it might be, it's always nice to know in the back of your head, if those don't work, you have a backup option. Or if these don't work and the station's full, you have another backup option. Ultimately, what we've learned is this opens up possibilities. It reduces the anxiety of road tripping an electric car, and it's just so easy. You take the adapter, boom, you plug it in, you're good to go. In terms of native port locations, or native port installs, sounds like Rivian will have a native NACS J3400 plug on their vehicles starting in 2025, just like the rest of many automakers. And that's only a few months away. I mean, we're already into month 3 of 2024. So we're not far away from seeing native ports installed into new vehicles. This is really cool. Again, a huge shout out to Rivian for jumping on the supercharger thing early. I think this is a needed situation for every automaker. They all agree because they've joined. And yeah, glad we're one of the first ones to be able to experience this. Shout out to my friend Ryan Huber, who was the first. He found the window when Tesla had it open for charging, activated it through the Tesla app. The one thing I don't know, speaking of that, by the way, you can sign up for a Tesla subscription in your Tesla app. Here, I'll just want to show you really quick. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I can come over here and, oh, someone's driving the Model S. I can come here to charge your other EV. And inside of this charge your other EV somewhere, how do I actually do this? Maybe it's under charging. Ah, yeah, okay. For your other EV, you go to membership. And inside of membership, you can pay $12 a month, and looks like I already do. You can pay $13 per month for a reduced charging cost. And that brings your cost of charging per kilowatt hour to exactly what Tesla owners pay when they charge their vehicles here. To me, it seems worth it if you use the network a lot. What I'm unsure of, and I hope to do a podcast on this soon, if I can link that Tesla membership pricing with the plug-in charge functionality going through the Rivian backend. At the moment, I don't think you can. With Ford, you cannot at the moment. So hopefully they find a way where you can purchase that membership through Rivian or through Ford and make it so you can still plug and charge rather than a pre-authorization before you plug in with Tesla and then you're activating it on their side. So again, super cool, very pleased. Let's just see if we're up to 500 amps yet. I bet we are as the screens boot up here. Yep, we're doing 194 kilowatts, so we're ripping along just fine right here. That's great to see. Well, you join me inside the Rivian app now, and I can come over here to the energy menu and then history, and I'll be able to see my receipts and all of the details about our charging session. So if the internet cooperates with us, I should be able to show you this at least. Oh, here we go. Holy smokes. So Monday, March 18th, Tesla Superior. You can see we delivered 82 kilowatt hours through the port. It was $31.16. Payment method, all that stuff, price. There we go. And then what I can do is they also emailed me, if I can show you right here, your charging session on March 18th, 82 point CTEP requires, to the 4th decimal, which no meter is really that accurate anyway. and 32 minutes and 34 seconds of charging. It was $31, and you can see here all the details, 1C, all that good stuff. So that's the stall that we used, and they should show us the price per kilowatt hour, 38 cents per kilowatt hour. Again, not getting that Tesla membership pricing. So that's how that one worked. Every site has their own pricing, and it's just up to whatever Tesla's billing in that current time. And just a few moments later, we are complete at 70% full charging speeds. Alyssa, thumbs up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great news. Love this. So, all right, time to unplug. And all you do to unplug is you actually just click this little thing that removes the, obviously, charger. And then you got to pull this little, pull this little tab. That's the little interlock. And then you can remove the connector from the handle. Pretty simple, really great. Love this. Thanks so much for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video. Congratulations to Rivian, congratulations to Tesla. This is great for the EV industry. No one should be upset about this. This is good news all around. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.